Welcome from Tradewood Manufacturing in the sunny city of Phoenix. We appreciate you watching this. You'll learn much regarding the module replacement. Many times this unit won't work. You'll push buttons and it won't start up, or it'll be beeping, beep beep every so often, and that means you have a problem with your module. Not all the times, but the majority of times. This is Raphael, one of our engineers, and he'll help us change this out. First of all, what tools will you need? You'll need a Phillips screwdriver. It's good to have a screw gun with a Phillips tip if you have that available to you. You need to have something to test to make sure the power is off. And then also you'll want something to cut with if you need to regarding the tie downs. First thing we do is we take the filters off. Raphael, if you would, show them how to take the filters off. We pull up and then we pull out and the filters come right off. Very simple. Now we're going to take off what's called the light bar. The light bar has the lights in it and also the controls. And there's lights on and off, 1, 2, 3, which is low, medium, and high. Raphael's going to go ahead and take that off. You take the regular screwdriver and the screws are always right below the lights. So there's 2 screws holding this light bar on, 1, 2. There's also clasps behind here that will hold it tight here. And you'll see how those come off in just a moment. Notice the screws, a very simple stainless steel screw. Always keep track of your screws, don't let those get lost. If ever you need parts for this, the serial number is right here, and you can call or go online and get the parts you need. Notice what happened here with what Raphael did. He simply pulled down like he did with the filters, and then the clasps right along here release. So the first thing you do is you take your scissors, or you take your wire cutters, or however you're cutting these tie downs, and you're very careful not to cut the wires, but you cut the tie downs. Here you go. So you're holding this, one person can do this, you're holding this and you clip the tie downs. So now your tie downs release. Again, being very careful of the wiring, and remove the tie downs, and then you can simply set this down or let it hang. Always be careful because you have a stainless steel piece here that can be scratched. So what we do is we take a piece of cloth, lay it across the unit, and then we simply put that stainless steel in there. Now we're going to remove the light bar so we can work on the module part. This is why it's called DSL, very special unit. Special because it's very effective unit, strong CFMs, very simple to work on, simple to operate, simple to repair. And we're going to show you how simple it is. So the first thing you do, go ahead Raphael, you remove the plug and play plug. See how simple that was? And the way he did that was he just simply pinched the 2 sides and it releases right off the bat. Then you want to go ahead and release the rest of the light bar by taking off the wire nuts. Now notice this, on the module, white goes to the white wires in this particular installation, and the yellow is not a ground. The yellow goes to the black. The reason we differentiate that is because the white and black also come out of this module as the power going back to the fuse box, which we'll show you in a minute, and also, as Raphael just pointed out, the wiring diagram. So now your light bar is free, and you can put this in a safe place. Now this is the part we were talking about. Now we're going to replace this module part. Again, one of the great aspects of our liner is it's plug and play. A few wire nuts and a couple plugs and your module is ready to come out. So he just showed you how to take that off. You pinch, very similar to taking off this plug switch. You simply pull those two nodules in, and then this will unplug. The reason this is important is because this plug right here operates the motor. There's just one plug and the motor is unplugged. Now, go ahead, Raphael. He's going to show you how simple it is to take this module out.
Okay, so this is when the screw gun comes in handy. There's 3 screws, the ones attached to the galvanized steel here. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to take those off and it should come right out.
Now, remember, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws holding this cap on. Do not take those off, and we ask you not to go inside this module. There's no reason to be inside of it. It's UL approved and very safe. And we've got some safety fuses inside of that to protect the consumer. So just take the 3 screws holding the module on, because you're going to take the module out and replace it with the new module. Okay, so he loosened it up with the screw gun, and now he's putting pressure on the module, pulling it out as he unscrews those 3 screws. So let's recap while he's taking this module out. We've simply removed the light bar, we've taken off the wire nuts, we've unplugged 2 plugs, and you can see this is all ready to come out. You remove the 3 attaching screws because you'll need those to put this module back in. Now all you have to do is simply clip that tie down, that electric wire tie down. Be very careful. Notice how careful he was not to cut any wires. And then now all we have to do is simply remove the wire nuts to the power. Now when you started this project, you made sure it was turned off at the fuse box, unplugged, and that's what this was for in the first place. Always make sure your power's off with some kind of mechanism to test to make sure there's no live current coming to the unit while you're working on it. This is what goes directly to your box. To reinstall, you will have gone online and asked us to send you this, or you would purchase it from us, whatever the case, and then we'll send this new module to you. Notice the module has 4 connections. Number 1, this goes to the motor, and we showed you the motor plug. Number 2, you have the power going back to the fuse box. Notice black is hot, white is common or neutral, however you want to call it, and then the next wire is for the lighting. The white, of course, that goes to the white wiring on the lights in the light bar. And the yellow goes to the black or the hot on the white on the lights, and that's for the switching that's inside of the module. Notice there is a ground. The ground is grounded right to the unit and also is grounded to this green wire. Green is always ground, yellow is for the black wiring on the lights. That's very important. Some electricians will hook this yellow to a ground and short this module out. Always make sure that this lighting always goes to the black and white. Okay, so then you just reinstall it as you took it out, plug it back in, and then when you get it finished, you reinstall your light bar. Very simple again. Reconnecting the wire nuts, making sure your switch is plugged back in. When you plug in the motor, make sure you hear it click. Pull on them to make sure the plugs are tight. One of the problems we have is people don't plug this in tight enough and it stops working or it doesn't work at all. And it's just the fact they don't have the switch all the way plugged in. Usually if you don't have it plugged in all the way, you'll hear a beeping noise. And then lastly, if you hold this, Raphael, when you put the wiring back together with the wire nuts, always hold the wire nut after you put them back together and pull both wires to make sure they're in tightly. Many times people don't make sure this is tightly woven together, and what happens is in time, vibration, one of the wires fall out. I hope this has been helpful, and of course you can always look at your manual also to see some of the things we've shown you. Thank you.